On everybody, it's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about the most intriguing games of college football week 12. The first game I want to talk about is number 16 Utah versus number 19 Arizona. Both of these teams are evenly matched. Utah, at times this season, they've shown that they are great on the defensive side of the ball, but lack offensive explosivity. And Arizona lacks the exact same thing. They are good on the offense, but lack defensive explosiveness by getting off the field on third down. Utah's third down defense is better than Arizona's defense. The offenses are still the same. I think that Arizona will win this game by 10 points because Utah's offense, Utah's quarterback, Cam Rising, he hasn't started all season. And they have a revolving door at quarterback. They have a two quarterback system now since Cam Rising is no longer able to play this season. So you don't know what you're going to get at quarterback when it comes to the Utah Utes. That's why I'm picking Arizona in this game, and I'm picking Arizona to win this game by 10. The next game I want to talk about is number 1 Georgia versus number 21 Tennessee Volunteers. Now this game is going to be a blowout in Georgia's favor because Tennessee, there have been some rumblings coming out of Tennessee that they think Josh Heupel isn't the guy, which I'm not surprised because what has Josh Heupel did in the 3 years that he has been at Tennessee? Oh, only thing he's done is beat Alabama once, and it was a fluke. So Josh Heupel, the last few home games, you haven't played. Tennessee hasn't played any competition. You played South Carolina and you beat them by 14. You played Virginia and you beat them in a blowout at the start of the season. So you really haven't played anybody up to the caliber of Georgia. Now the losses that you've had, you just experienced the beatdown versus Missouri. Obviously, I wasn't surprised by that. And you experienced a beatdown against my Florida Gators early in the season. So, Tennessee, you are not. We already know Josh Heupel wasn't a guy. Josh Heupel is another Butch Jones. He can get you 7 or 8 game season, a 7 win or 8 game win season, but he cannot get you to the college football playoff or a national championship. The only thing that you can do is get to a bowl game and possibly win, or you might even lose the bowl game because the smooth sailing, the smooth road with Josh Heupel and the honeymoon phase, as people like to call it, is over. It was over after you beat Alabama last year. It was definitely over after you beat Clemson in that bowl game last year. Now we done got to the nitty gritty when you need to win these games against top 5 teams like Alabama, like Georgia, and like Missouri, which Missouri is a surprise to everybody. But coming into last week, I knew that Missouri was going to have a chip on their shoulder because Tennessee, they put up 66 points on Missouri last year. So Tennessee, you're not going anywhere. You are not going to go anywhere this year, nor next year, the year after that, or the year after that, because it has been like I always say, like everybody's been bringing back They saying in Tennessee we need to get back to the days of 1998. 1998 was 25 years ago. Ever since then, it's been a quarter of a century of a downward spiral with y'all, and it is going to continue to be a downward spiral with y'all because Tennessee, they are even though they in the SEC, they really don't play up to the SEC talent because they beat on the bottom 5 teams. Hell, for Florida, we wasn't even supposed to win versus Tennessee, and we still came out with a win versus Tennessee. So we know Tennessee. We already, as far as my Florida Gators, we already in bad shape. But Tennessee is always in worse shape than us. I mean, it's been a while since you've been to a SEC championship game. You don't have no chance versus Georgia, and I think that this game, Georgia is going to win this game. Going away, I believe Georgia, they may win by 40 points. And I do think that it is going to be 40 points. I think that this game will be over by halftime because the rumblings coming out of Tennessee is Josh Heupel the guy? We don't know if Josh Heupel is the guy. After last season with a stunning win over Alabama Crimson Tide, we have been on a downward spiral in our last 13 road games. They are 6-7. Man, not even 500. So, and the margin of defeat in their road games is by at least 13 points, if not more. Wow. So you get some good home cooking, Tennessee, but you ain't going to get no good home cooking this week. You play them lower ranked teams, oh my goodness. You have a field day against them. But when you play against them top ranked teams, and all of a sudden the game starts getting tight, you start blaming the refs and saying that they ain't make this call, they ain't make that call. Tennessee fans, you just need to stay in a place where you have been all these years. You have been in a place of irrelevancy all 25 of these years. Since 1998, you have been in a place where you have felt comfortable over the last 25 years, which is irrelevancy. Last year, that was a surprising year for y'all. I didn't think that you would win 10 or 11 games last season. I definitely didn't think that you would beat Alabama last year. But you ended up beating Alabama last year. You couldn't do it this year, and you are not going to beat Georgia at home this year because last year I just heard everybody, all the Tennessee fans, well, if we would have played them in Neyland Stadium in our house, it would have been something different. Now you got that chance, but I don't see you winning. I don't see you winning at home in Neyland Stadium against these Georgia Bulldogs because the running back Kendall Milton, he gonna have over 150 yards. I'm predicting that. Carson Beck gonna have over 250 passing yards. Brock Bowers, he gonna have 100 yards receiving. The wide receivers, they are gonna have 2 touchdowns, and this game is going to be a blowout. They're going to put in the backups early in the fourth quarter. That is the type of beatdown of a game that I see coming out of this game against number 1 Georgia versus number 1 Tennessee. I think that Georgia will win this game by 40 points. On to the next game. Number 5 Washington versus number 10 Oregon State. So this game I see I see Washington coming out of this game winning a tight game. So Oregon State, they've been doing pretty good the last few weeks, but for Washington to stay in college football playoff contention, they have to win out. They have to win out. So it is critical for them to win this game, because if they lose this game, they out of playoff contention. If they win this game, you still in contention for the playoff. Oregon State, hey, I really didn't expect nothing from Oregon State this season. What DJ Angugalele is doing at Oregon State is beyond me. I wonder why Clemson ain't keep him. Nah, Dabo Swinney, he is eating crow now, because he should have kept DJ Angugalele, because DJ Angugalele, he has over 3,000 passing yards this season, and he's completing 66% of his passes this year. And at Clemson, he was doing that and then some. But I don't know why Dabo Swinney, he has a problem with the transfer portal. I don't know why. I don't know what done got into Dabo Swinney. But back to Oregon State. Oregon State, this game will be close, but Washington is going to win in the end. I think Washington will win this game by at least 3 points, if not more, because Washington's offense is very better than Oregon State's offense. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is a close game, nip and tuck game throughout, or this has the possibility of being an offensive shootout. But either way the game goes, I expect the Washington Huskies to win this game, and for Michael Penix Jr. to have a great game again, like he has had a great game throughout the entire season. And Washington will be 11-0 going into the final game of the season. And those are my most intriguing games for week 11 of the college football season. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, the key is always on time.